And today I have some questions for you. First off, we're going to go with how do you feel about nudity?
Nudity is beautiful in the right places.
Okay.
There's a beauty to the body that is natural, but if it's unexpected, it can deter people completely.
That's very true. I personally feel somewhat the same. Like I'm okay with other people being naked or whatever. It doesn't bother me as long as they're not like trying to hug me or things like that.
Right.
Like you said earlier, it's all about personal space.
Space.
Okay. The next one would be how do you feel about masturbation?
I think it is a great idea. I think it is perfect for people to teach themselves what they like and what they do not like.
So you think it's a good tool?
I think it's fantastic.
Yes. I would agree with you. Like you said, it's a good way to find out what you do and don't like, and it's also a good stress reliever, I would say.
Exactly. Yes.
How do you feel about sex with a partner?
Happy.
I would agree. Do you have any certain beliefs about when and how it should happen?
When is the personal decision of when they're ready, and how is also how they're ready. It should never be forced. It should never be expected. It should only be in the most comfortable of zones.
Yeah, I agree with that too. More so about the how, like the when, like that's personal with your partner. That's something for both of you to discuss and, you know, agree on. Like you said, force, no, no one wants that. Um, how it should happen, I mean, again, that's something that you have to talk with your partner to, about, because some people are a little bit more risky, some people
That's true.
like different things, so.
Yeah, and speaking to the partner is the biggest part.
Of
Because if
course.
you can't talk about sex, you should not be having it. I believe that completely.
That is very true. Okay, so now I'm going to move on and ask, what aspects of your body do you most appreciate?
I like my legs, definitely. I'm happy they're long. And I also enjoy. Yeah, I like my tiny titties. I'm okay with them.
You're okay with that? Nothing wrong
Gravity's
with
on my side.
that. Let's see. What messages have you been sent throughout your life about your body? From friends, family, or even the media?
Well, friends and family, the message is to protect myself and to be modest about the way I am. When it comes to media, it's the complete opposite. Everything is completely opposing to what the average home teaches you. Or not average, but the modest family and friends teach you.
How did you interpret all this information that you received from these different sources?
It made me think from the media that it's okay to be as crazy and wild as you want to be, which is exciting and fun. But the stuff you hear from your family, and your friends make it sound like you should really respect what you're doing to yourself as well as with others.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you about the media. They're just like, if you want to be famous or be rich, you have to be crazy, and that's not true.
Yeah.
It's really not true. But
chonies on videos all the time. You're just like, man, like.
it's kind of sad. You see all these girls the way they dress, and because they see it on TV. How did you first learn about sex and sexuality in general?
Titanic, definitely, numero uno. And then after that was movies, and then much later in life, so that was probably around like 9, 10, and then much later in life, I was actually taught what goes down chemistry, like with freshman year in high school was health